Hello and welcome to Talkin Jake as we are in tier list season and we are doing first base. This is going to be a breeze, right? First base, put the best hitter you got and let him catch the ball. This will be one of the ugliest tier lists we do this year. I am joined by Jolly Olive, BBD, and I think, we normally like to get some tiers in front of you. We have some concepts we've discussed. First base might blow some people's minds what we're about to stumble into because there is a pack of Lamont Wade, our guy Vinny P. There is a middle tier of first baseman that I currently don't know how to slice up, Jolly. What was that? Was that a dance move?
It's the only position I didn't get to play in Little League.
Okay.
So I'm a little biased against first baseman. They got to live dreams that I never got to live.
First base is a nightmare, bro.
It's a little messy.
Especially
it's a little
for a
messy.
short guy.
But I always wanted to try. I could pick it.
If
it was high, I can't get there.
Yeah, you didn't want that. I had a couple games, and that was just a bad time.
At least you got those couple
Why is
games.
a short kid at first? It's just bad.
Everyone's just looking at you.
Luckily, these guys are tall. We will find out who the shortest player is coming up. Probably a Rise. Probably a Rise. He's listed. He had a nice Instagram post. Him and his wife, bunch of kids. Everyone was looking good.
Let's spend 30 minutes on that.
Andrew Vaughn.
Don't say that to me.
We won't start there. Here's what we're going to do. Normally, we have the list, and I think we have our S tier. There's been a couple names thrown out, but we're going to do this traditional tier list style. We're going to start off S tier, A, B, C, D, and then we're going to separate as we go because I'll be honest, I'm a little frazzled. The S tier's kind of clear. There's a couple guys you can negotiate up or down, and maybe we will.
That's nice.
Look at that.
That's nice.
The whole squad, man.
New show layout looks great.
Miami, Rise kind of has a see-through shirt going on. Like, that's the vibe. That's what I want. Okay.
He's still a Padre, right? That didn't change.
We'll see. By the time this comes out, I don't know.
Kind of flexing his wife. Kind of love that.
Oh, big time.
Half those slides were just her.
We love that for him. So we're going traditional tier list, S tier, A, B, C, D. And I think we can chew off the top, Jolly. I think we mutually agree that there's 4 that deserve to be at the top. I think there's one guy that could make a push for a solo 1, but he doesn't have quite the resume yet. Would you like to dive in?
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm sectioning this off is the guys that are either getting paid 9 figures or are going to get paid 9 figures as first baseman. The one who's going to get paid 9 figures is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This is his walk year. He's coming off a fantastic bounce back year. Bounce back in the way that he was always good, but that was a truly great elite caliber season last year. 940 OPS, 30 bombs, 103 RBIs. Career 137 OPS plus. He's going to be 26. He could get better. You never know. And he's gotten better defensively. We know how feared of a slugger he is. He will be the ball or the bell of the ball at next year's free agency class.
Ball of the bell.
I think I had it right. And he belongs at the top. No doubt in my mind.
So I think, oddly enough, Vladdy, with what he did last year, if there's anyone who has a claim to be on top, it is Vladito.
Yes.
6.2 WAR, 940 OPS, 166 OPS plus. I mean, the way he finished last season, and when I say finished, I mean basically the second half of the year, finished 6th in MVP. I think Vladdy grew up a little bit. He's turning 26 in a couple weeks.
Youth factor goes for him.
That there may be more in the tank, or last season just might be the regular. He does have a career 137 OPS plus, which is lower than I think. It's lower than Harper. I believe it's lower than Freddie career. And it's lower than Olsen career. So there's definitely people that would come on here and say Olsen should maybe be a tier down. I think the two arguments that Bryce and Freddie are linked for life.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Olsen and Freddie also linked for life. I think Matt Olson's last year, you could make an argument a tier down. I think it was a weird year, and the year before that, as you've noted, Jolly, 54 homers, 139 RBIs, and a 604 slugging, all led the NL.
all better than what Vladdy did last year.
Matt Olson, correct.
To put it in context.
Matt Olson has played every game the last 3 seasons.
And that matters to me.
That's cool. I hope that the tier list next year has Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on a tier all by himself, or maybe with another one of these guys. Like Bryce Harper's still new to first base.
Yeah.
How silly is that? And the defense, like he grades out well for a first baseman, which nobody grades out well for a first baseman, so that's kind of cool to see. And yeah, Matt Olson with a hot April could be on track for another 50-homer season. Also, Matt Olson, 32.8 career WAR.
Matt Olson's entered like an interesting conversation.
I mean, he'd really have to keep it rolling until he's 35 to.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's going to make the Hall of Fame, but I think his interesting conversation is he had one quote unquote down year where he was still a 4-WAR player, hit 30 home runs, and played every single game, and now everyone's like, oh, I guess he's not among the elite. Matt Olson's still really, really good, and he definitely belongs up here. So I had like that slight moment of like, do we move him down? Because you can see a world where it's those 3 and it kind of looks right.
Right.
But Matt Olson definitely belongs up there.
I think they all belong. I could see any of those players having a better year than everyone else on the list. Vladdy with the easiest up potential. And honestly, Father Time and Freddie, when does it happen? 35?
Hasn't happened yet.
Last year, the numbers ticked down, but when I say tick down, 143 OPS plus, like, they ticked down for Freddie Freeman. He hit 331 the year before, 282 last year. God, 6.5 WAR.
Is Freddie Freeman like a first ballot Hall of Famer? Kind of feels like he is.
Well, couple World Series.
I'll tell you what also matters.
MVP?
World Series and being liked by the media. He's been MLB's media darling for 8 years now.
I think Freddie's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Big Papi. And he was a DH.
He didn't even play the field, huh?
Let's leave that S tier. We'll see if we need to circle back and separate anything. I think we've done. I think we've done good there. Do you want to do the next tier, or do we want to?
I don't want to
chop
do
off
any
some
of
of the
this.
bottom.
I don't want to do any of this.
I know.
It's a disturbing mess. I have a couple pairings that I like, and then after that, it's kind of out the wazoo.
Is that Tyler Soderstrom on the A's?
Of course.
Please don't say that into the microphone.
Had some nice numbers last year.
Scaring people. You are.
Had some nice numbers last year, Jolly.
Don't say that. I have Paul Goldschmidt and Carlos Santana grouped together. They got paid roughly the same money in free agency. They serve kind of similar roles. They're glove-first dudes who are a little bit on the older side, who can still hit at, league average or above league average rate. I have them somewhere in the middle in a tier called Your Dad's Old Glove.
Your dad's old glove.
Your dad's old glove that he gave to you as like your first really good. Like you had your little league glove, and now you have your first good glove. It's your dad's old glove. He's been using it for years.
Man, Carlos Santana turns 39 in April.
Damn.
Paul is a young 37 and about to have a massive season. Okay, so BBD naturally put that in the C tier for now. We can call it your dad's old glove. I'll be interested to see if anyone we think deserves to be lumped in with them. Both
And
these
like-
guys got a very similar contract.
Open to discussion because Paul Goldschmidt was in our second tier last year, next to Bryce Harper.
Well, Goldie took a step back,
Yeah.
and we're talking about Matt Olson and could he reach Hall of Fame, and Harper, Freddie. Like, Paul Goldschmidt's got that 62.8 WAR in the bag. And he had an 800 OPS in the second half of last year. Does he find the porch a couple times? The pinstripes? The pinstripes?
Let's look at Paul Goldschmidt's spray chart.
Are you getting it?
Did he go Oppo with any home runs
I think
last
there
year?
was like one Oppo home
He
run
went
that he would
Oppo
have
for a
had.
homer twice last year.
There was one
It's PPP prep season.
Right.
A lot of the nerd sites do say he will pepper that porch.
We'll see.
I think he would have gained like 3 homers as a Yank last year. We'll figure that out. 2 years removed from MVP 1.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe he needs to wipe the Cardinal off of him just a little bit.
That's why I'm being a Cardinal.
Tell me who was your favorite Cardinal free agent signing this year?
That's rude.
Blank space.
That's what I was thinking.
We are recording this February 10th. That should be noted.
Nick Pivetta, welcome. Come on down.
Yeah.
They need a pitcher.
To the Mets?
No. We don't need a pitcher.
To who?
To St. Louis.
No.
Okay.
No.
He looks like a Cardinal. What do you mean no?
He does. Let's see what the Olds do this year as they are fighting for ground. Paul Goldschmidt, 7.4 WAR, 3.1 WAR, 1.3 WAR. So there's a nervous side of that. Carlos Santana was kind of on that boat, and last year just said, fuck it, we ball. So we respect your dad's old glove. Let's see what gets filled in above them. Let's jump to the second tier.
Okay.
When we go from Olsen, Harper, Vladito, and Freddie, I guess who's the first name?
I think it's Pete, which is weird because I feel not 100% confident saying that, but I feel like he can't go any lower than that, right? I mean, he's the biggest home run bat on this list.
It's interesting because it's 2025.
Yes.
You get paid in free agency for what you're about to do. You don't get paid for what you've done. That I think the two names that were the hot topic at first base this offseason, Pete and Christian Walker, both have their argument. Pete's going to get at least $30 million to play baseball for this upcoming season, and if he plays well, he will cash in even more than that, or he's got an insurance policy for next year. Christian Walker got the contract everyone kind of expected, and it's the whole two-way. He leads every defensive first base metric you could possibly look into while being a very consistent. I haven't looked at Christian Walker's numbers. He was a hot topic of this free agency, and then he wasn't. OPS plus the last 3 years, 125, 122, 121, and he's won the Gold Glove all 3 of those years. His WAR has gone down per year. He will be turning 34 on March 28th. Is that opening day?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see. Arizona's a good place to hit. That's been a good lineup. He was very comfortable there.
These two feel linked too.
They currently are.
Yeah, they just feel like in the same way that like Freddie and Olsen are kind of always connected. These two feel like they're going to be connected, even though they're very different players.
Yes.
Like Walker's glove first and like very consistent offensively. Pete, definitely not a glove first dude, but he has like the offensive volatility where like 1 year he could put up 46 homers and people aren't going to be like surprised. You know what I mean?
Maybe this year.
I'd like that.
You think so?
I'd like it. I don't know.
Then Uncle Steve's got to get that checkbook out.
I think he's good for it.
What if he wants Vladdy?
¿Por qué no los dos? There's a DH spot in the National League now.
Pete to third.
Okay. Let's party.
Vientos. I think those two begin this tier.
Yeah,
the question is...
My one other name here feels wrong.
Okay.
But then you look at his page, and he absolutely belongs to be next to some of these guys. But maybe not.
Okay.
I'm having a really tough time with Nathaniel Lowe.
I think we all are.
I'm having a really tough time with him. He's never been below league average offensively in his 6-year career. Last year, he was a 120 OPS plus. He doesn't have the home run power that Pete does. And he doesn't have quite the glove that Walker does, but he kind of feels like a hodgepodge of the two. I mean, he's definitely more doubles than homers.
Won the Silver Slugger in 22, won the Gold Glove in 23. And last year, he had a very Nathaniel Lowe season.
And he just feels better than the guys that are going to be below them.
Can I tell you, okay, here's a weird sniff test.
Okay.
Why Texas trade him?
I think it's, so Jake Berger has more years of control, and I guess they wanted to swap in one guy for less money who has more years of control, but I do think that Nathaniel Lowe is the better player. Get a little more power in the lineup. But then they just signed Jock.
They signed Jock, so that's your
confusing.
lefty DH replacement.
It's great for the
And
Nats.
I guess they got Berger at a good value, so I don't know. That's just been one that's thrown me off, and we're talking about, your net worth is your net worth.
Wow.
Christian Walker got the contract maybe plus a year than what people were expecting, or I don't know, in the range. Pete was chasing AAV and blew his cover that he wanted to be a Met, but he didn't get the full contract he was expecting.
He will be the highest paid first baseman next year.
Nathaniel Lowe was traded for Robert Garcia, and the whole thing throws me off.
Who's from California.
Robert Garcia's from California.
And Robert Garcia is good. He's got 3 nasty pitches. But it felt just like a years of control type thing, which is a good way to build your roster.
And it was a team that was pretty desperate for bullpen help.
Right, and the Marlins were dumb enough to trade Jake Berger, who still had like tons of control. So like I get it from that standpoint. And this is about Nathaniel Lowe, the player, not really like him getting traded. It's just a weird discussion. Like I still don't really know why it happened.
Maybe Robert Garcia's good. He had a negative WAR last year. I don't.
Where do you want to put him, Jacob?
So, there's Pete and Christian Walker.
Sure.
Lumped together for life. I like Nathaniel Lowe. I'll tell you one that's tormenting me. Wilson Contreras.
I hate that he's here.
I don't know if he can play the position. But if you tell me the hitter I like, go look at his offensive stats.
And like these numbers will probably get better.
That you'd think.
He doesn't have to catch.
You'd think.
So does he belong?
As he gets more used to being in this
He can't
spot.
be in the second tier of a position that he's never played. I think I draw the line there. I've never seen him play it. I don't know how it's going to look.
Well,
Like his bat's not that good.
But it's good.
I think we're going to get old-headed on
That
this
like
list.
he's a 2-tier.
This is a name value list.
It currently kind of
It's
is.
a name value list. So who's who?
Nathaniel Lowe
Third tier?
is good. Wilson Contreras. I'm just going to yell some names real quick because I'm going to yell every name. How about this? Here's a fun exercise.
Okay.
Every name that I'm currently looking at that's frustrating me on what their value is. Josh Naylor.
B tier?
He has an argument.
Sure.
He has an argument. Casas, yes and no. He's got to do it for like a year, but his stats are
But now he's got that full 162, and it's nice.
right. But he's got to do that
Yeah.
for a full 162.
Absolutely.
But like, who would you rather have at first base next year? Paul Goldschmidt, Carlos Santana, or Tristan Casas?
Tristan Casas?
Tristan Casas.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, but I'm not even frustrated with that. I can figure that out.
Yeah.
Vinny P might be too close to the sun there. That is what it is. We'll get there. Reese Hoskins.
I'm a little lower on him.
I am too, but also, am I?
It's the leg injury.
Okay.
He's like the slowest
can be
player in
talked into
baseball
that.
now.
Lamont Wade Jr.
On base god. I think he led first base in an on base percentage last year.
I don't need
Second to Vladdy.
Wilson Contreras. I already talked about that. Yandy Diaz. Get rid of his slow start, and he was a baller again. I think there's some nerd stat that he was top 85th percentile in sweet spot contact percentage and biggest hammer.
Come on.
And then Nathaniel Lowe. Like I don't know how to separate these.
So I've got some ideas.
Sure.
I think that we make the B tier the my brain hurts tier, and we just throw all these guys in there. Because they all have like a hitch, right? Wilson has never played the position before.
He's never played first base.
Casas doesn't have the full season. Nathaniel Lowe has just kind of been good, not great. And I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just been a solid, good first baseman. But Walker,
that gets held against him.
But Alonso and Walker have had great seasons.
They can be game changers.
Right.
Game changer.
Okay. Naylor hasn't played
Barely
the position,
know her.
right?
Doesn't rack up WAR.
No, I mean,
Did he
Bad
get
defense.
Did he get boosted by Cleveland getting rid of some outfield seats last year?
oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was weird.
Oh.
His numbers landed.
They're fine.
The 31 homers stand out more than the OPS plus.
The
He
counting
kind
stats
of played
are
with
nice.
three.
Okay, I feel better with that.
Yeah,
Defensively, he played with three other like great defenders.
that's another great
that are
point
like
to make. Yeah,
Like I feel like on an otherwise bad defense where he'd have to be scooping more. Like, do we talk about?
Hey,
He's not a great defender.
I
more
was
often?
worried there was going to be a much bigger conversation for Josh Naylor to be up on this list.
I don't think there is.
He slowed down in the second half last year. I didn't realize to what degree. In the first half last year, 22 homers and 816 OPS.
Yeah.
He slowed down in the second half. So, okay.
With him, like me and Dalton both thought the D-backs acquired their new designated hitter, not their new first baseman. And he's their first baseman now. So we'll see. Crazy to go.
So let's
Walker.
All right. Let's put those. Okay, so who's up there? That's Wilson, that's Lowe, that's Casas, and that's Naylor.
And then Vinny?
Who would you rather have next year? Goldie, Santana, or Vinny? Vinny.
A part of me...
I'm thinking that row is going to become 2 rows.
A part of me was just going to say, like, make that into 2 rows. My brain hurts. Please make my brain hurt.
Oh.
And that's Vinny and Casas.
Yeah.
I'm open to that. Let's make 2 rows there. We're going to need 2 rows.
Because they also kind of feel like they go together.
Casas has just done more.
Right. But he doesn't have a full season.
Casas has done it at a higher level, I should say.
Not having the full season hurts.
Yeah.
They both, they're both, their high in games is 131 and 132 for these 2 guys. So they kind of are the same.
I'm an OPS plus guy nowadays.
Sure.
Casas 125, Vinny 112 career. He was 118 last year.
Kaufman's tough.
Fenway,
not tough.
Fenway, no, it's tough. I might have just read the wrong stats. I was on Josh Naylor's page. Vinny, where'd you go? There's Vinny. Vinny's a career 116 OPS plus.
Yeah.
This is going to be, he's 27. This is going to be his, I mean, he's really only got 1 full season, and that was last year.
That's what I'm saying. They're kind of the same class. Like, they're both young. People are both really excited for what they can do, but also nervous because they haven't seen the full season.
Let's get the full year and be a guy.
Yeah.
Where does Lamont Wade go? Has anyone ever seen him play baseball? Honest question.
Isn't he more an outfielder?
Not so much anymore.
Stop that.
I think he's a great picker and not much else going on defensively. I know there's some nerd stuff about, like, he hits velocity and spin both very well.
His on base was 1 tick lower than his slug. That's his game.
He gets on base.
That's
valuable.
That's extremely
Have you
valuable.
seen Moneyball?
I heard playing first base is easy. That's what I heard.
The last 2 years, 252 games, he's gone on at a 376 clip.
I have a proposal.
Okay.
Lamont Wade does not grade out well defensively at first base and can hit. Do we agree on that? Yandy Diaz.
I think I can agree with that.
Yandy Diaz does not grade out well defensively and can hit.
I think I have another guy, too.
Luis Arias does not grade out well defensively and can hit. That feels like a group.
Couple batting title winners there.
They hit
in
for
Arias and Yandy.
They are contact over power hitters.
You just talked me out of Wade being in there now. Damn.
Well,
you totally did.
Oh,
Lamont.
All 3 of them lead off.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Kind of love that.
Yeah. 1B hitting 1, something like that. 1 hitting 1.
1 hitting 1.
1 hitting 1. That's above Goldie and Santana?
Oh.
Question mark? The olds are flying down the board.
It doesn't feel right to put them below. I think it's above. Who would you rather have?
I think if we're being honest, I would rather have Luis Arias, Yandy Diaz. Lamont Wade gets interesting, but every stat tells me I would. If you could tell me Lamont Wade Jr. could get on at a 373 clip in front of Aaron Judge next year, I would love Lamont Wade Jr.
And that question is not who would you rather have on the Yankees, it's who would you rather have on a baseball team. Like, take out defensive issues, whatever, construction of the roster, like what's the better player? I think the 3 of them move above. And it's an age conversation too. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of works against Goldie.
Paulie and Carlos could fall off.
They could fall off bad.
There's an argument that Paul Goldschmidt has already
Isn't Yandy
already
sneaky
passed.
old?
Isn't he?
Yandy turns 34 in August. That's okay. Cuban.
I like the way we sorted that out.
Okay. Yeah, we have some things happening.
We have a lot of tiers.
good. Wilson Contreras.
Wilson Contreras. In the
I mean,
third
if
tier.
he can catch the ball, he's going up.
He caught the ball for many years of his life.
Right.
He had a whole position named after it.
If his offensive season is repeated and he's fine at first,
I need to see the guy play first base. This is a guy that had problems catching.
Can I just say, this is the weirdest contract of the past 5 years is the Wilson Contreras Cardinals contract.
because they keep being mean to him.
You're
and
not our
blaming him for
catcher,
every
and you're the
problem.
reason we're losing.
They keep being mean.
You're
And now
DH
we're
only.
gonna-
Actually, you will catch though.
And we're not going to trade anybody in the season, and then we're going to let everyone go, and we're going to make you a first baseman, even though you want to be a catcher.
He smells of a trade.
There's 4 years left on the deal.
But if he hits and he can catch balls at first base,
They need to full reset. I'm with you.
That's how they reset.
I'm with you.
God. Don't trade him to Seattle. And there's my Seattle Mariners shrapnel.
Yeah,
this
really.
episode, which brings us to Luke Rayleigh. Some numbers that like him.
Just gonna get Jonah Bride on there.
See, this is the problem with the bottom, is that there's a lot of guys that have like one thing going for them.
Hey, let's clean up the bottom. I think Colt Keith,
Hasn't seen him play the position.
haven't seen him played, haven't seen him hit. I hope he has a very nice career.
We thought you were Trey Sweeney last time.
We did think you were Trey Sweeney.
That's tough. He's had a lot of
ESPN.com
appearances.
insisted.
He's had a lot of appearances on this.
We didn't mean that.
Anyone want to go to battle for Spencer Horwitz?
He could hit a little bit. I feel bad putting him at the bottom.
I kind of do too.
He's got a little
And Colt
pirate
Keith
stink on
after
him
the
too.
slow start really hit.
Him or Soderstrom?
All right, I don't know anything about Tyler Soderstrom.
What? Watch ball.
And
Why?
that's just like there is no time for this.
Why did he have a 114 OPS plus?
It's pretty brief.
But
Still
still,
a lot of games. He was a real prospect.
It's a first round pick.
Those Oakland A's hit.
Damn.
No time for this. Kind of true.
Andrew Vaughn, bottom. Kind of feels like we know who he is at this point.
I wish I didn't. I bought some Andrew Vaughn stock.
Did you really?
I would love to get him anywhere else.
20 homers, 750 OPS.
Damn, really no nuts here.
No.
In my head, he had one.
In my head, it was 2021, but he was a rookie.
In my head, 2022, he was like legit good. Which these are good numbers, but
As a 24-year-old, that's a very nice season in 2022 for Andrew Vaughn.
I thought we were building something.
I mean, what's...
Go ahead, make an argument for Andrew Vaughn.
No. No. The bottom of this list, Jonah Bride. Sorry, new friend. But, yeah. There's young guys you can talk yourself into. Spencer Horwitz, sure. Maybe there's something in there.
I think that might be a tier.
Michael Toglia.
Like,
He hit 25 last year.
he's a
That's
big
Spencer Steer?
dude. Yeah, it's Spencer Steer.
Penciled in there.
I have Shanwell in that young guys you want to talk about conversation. Like, what is he?
Does Colt Keith deserve to be with the young guys?
He's had a full rookie year. Slow start then good.
Yeah.
Why is he?
I thought the numbers were a lot worse. Okay. How about the second to last tier before the olds? Yep, put Colt Keith up there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, real prospect. I didn't realize how close to league average his season got last year.
So we're doing like a young guys tier then.
Yes, these are guys that we have hope for.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at... Who am I? Shanuel.
Yeah.
Um,
He's another like high draft pick. They didn't sign a first baseman because they believe in him.
Soderstrom Hive is
Yeah.
strong right now.
Another first round pick. Is this the first round picks tier? These guys all first round picks? Let's
Andrew
find out.
Vaughn's a first round pick, too.
Don't say that. Come on.
Colt Keith is a 5th round pick.
Andrew Vaughn was the 3rd overall pick.
I have some Andrew Vaughn stock, and I'm still sitting on it.
Who went after Andrew Vaughn?
Trade him to a good team.
Do you know who went 1 and 2 in Andrew Vaughn's draft?
Who's that?
Adley Rushman and Bobby Witt Jr.
I'm still a Vaughn guy.
Riley Green 2 picks later.
J.J. Blade.
This is a good draft.
C.J. Abrams.
Corbin Carroll.
I have Andrew Vaughn stock, and it's going bad. But maybe this is the year. Like, where does Michael Bush go, man?
Bush goes above these guys, I think.
Where do the Orioles belong?
With Michael Bush had almost 3 WAR last year.
All right.
Full season.
Here's what we're doing.
Top 100 prospect.
Here's what we're
He
doing.
goes with Vinny and Casas.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoa.
I'd like him to make my brain hurt.
Right?
He
118 OPS plus.
he's the
full
only one, he's the
season?
only one with a full season. Lefty, right? Yeah. Yeah, he does. I think he has more WAR than Pasquatch, and he's only played 1 year.
That's fine.
He was still a top 100 prospect entering last season.
I think I'd rather have him over Luis Arias.
That's interesting. I mean, Luis Arias is a wrench in every conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
Kind of doesn't play defense. Has an argument for best contact hitter we've seen.
But I'd rather have the guy that's a first baseman
Generationally?
that can also hit.
Right. It starts getting into your team a little bit. And Michael Bush, what if he gets better?
Right. All 3 of those guys have the youth factor.
The reason Michael Bush is a Cub is the Dodgers just didn't have room for him.
Literally didn't have room on the roster for him to play.
Who's in on Luke Raley?
Is that how
You know what I'm saying?
Is that how you normally start conversations?
Yes. It was not popular at the Super Bowl.
He feels like he belongs with Jose Miranda.
Oh, my God.
Is he not an outfielder?
He had one great year, right?
Don't
Last
look at
year.
Luke Raley's stats last year.
He was terrific. He was
I was
a
thinking
three-way
about
player.
23.
He's been good for multiple years.
He's playing first base for the Mariners.
That's so messed up that they would do that to us.
By the time this is out, maybe they've signed Justin Turner and Raley will return to the outfield, but he's played a lot of first base in his life. Also a
God
Dodger.
damn it, Luke Raley.
Is he in my brain hurts?
It's a little bit, man. It's a little bit.
I'm moving him up there.
Because I think his savant is also pretty at times. There's actually a dark horse position for him. I think Luke Raley got some leadoff run last year. Let's check.
Today?
Let's check.
No way.
Maybe I dreamt that.
I could totally see the Rays leading him
Okay,
off.
he let off like 8 times last year, so I don't think
Counts.
that counts.
3 games started up there last
Crazy
year.
that my brain has that in it, but I don't know how to do anything else.
I have him in my brain hurts. He's the epitome of my brain hurts. I didn't think about Luke Raley at all before this tier list, and I just discovered that he has.
Now, do you have him
6
in my
WAR.
brain hurts, or please make my brain hurt?
I haven't. I mean, he's.
You'd rather have Luke Raley than Tristan Casas. That is a lie.
That's a lie.
The test came back and said that was
That's a lie. But that's a name value thing, dude.
We're getting name valued pretty hard.
We're getting name valued because Luke Raley is objectively right now a better player than Tristan Casas, which is a crazy statement because even I don't believe that.
Luke Raley is 6'4", 235.
Okay.
One of like the
What do
top
you-
sprint guys, right?
I was about to ask what sprint speed you've got
I
on
think he's
him.
like 95th or something.
What?
Luke Raley flies. Luke Raley's a glitch.
80th percentile.
90, split the difference.
He's in my
He's
in my
baseball's
brain.
Wemby.
He is
He's-
my brain hurts.
he's Wemby.
Everything about him that I've learned in the past 5 minutes has
Yeah.
made my brain hurt. He's up there.
He
And
plays
you,
like a lot of center field.
and you owe it to Mariners fans. You do. You do.
Don't tell me
You
what I
owe
owe
it to
them.
Mariners fans. You're so mean to them.
This hurts my brain.
You look like your brain hurts.
This is... There's something beautiful about this, and there's something horrible about this. I know I have Yankee syndrome, but in my head, Goldie and Carlos Santana could have fine years this season. Yandy Arise, I expect to have very strong seasons at what they do. Lamont Wade, the expectation's not there, but he gets on base. And that's how the Oakland Athletics almost won something. Barry Zito, nope.
Tim Hudson, no thank you.
Mulder.
It's because Scott Hatteberg got on base.
Scully. That reference was for my sister. X-Files. Who's not even on the board right now? Why don't you say anything about Spencer Steer? Are you scared?
I have no thoughts on him. I have him. Okay, do you want to hear my tier?
Where would you have you had him?
Your brain's fully broken now.
I hate first base.
Here's my tier at the bottom. You ready?
At the bottom.
Below your dad's old glove.
Okay.
I have Jake Berger. I have the 2 Orioles first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
I have Steer, and I have Hoskins. I have no idea what I'm calling this tier. But they kind of just feel like...
It feels kind of wrong for them to be below the olds.
I know.
But now I feel like we're getting rude to Santana.
Now we're getting really rude to Santana.
You can almost pencil Jake Berger in for 30 homers.
You look like you're having a horrible time.
I am. I mean, I'm...
Maybe... Is it something about, like, how are you hitting 30 homers? And
there's part of this that makes me just want to do it as a 30-person tier list. And just do, like, a gun to my head. Who do I want at third base next year? Or first base? Jonah Bride, you're last. And I'm sorry, dude. And I don't know you. And you're probably a nice cat. Is he a first-round pick? Why do I care?
I think he was. Yeah.
In my head. 23rd round pick, Jonah Bride.
Oh, whoops. My bad.
Don't look at his...
it's really nice 71 game.
Here's what we're doing, and this is final, okay? Here's what we're doing. We're putting Bride and Vaughn together with the whole hodgepodge of the young guys who haven't really proved it yet, but we're, like, weirdly interested in. So it's like Jose Miranda, Spencer Horowitz, Michael Tolia, Sean Well, Colt Keith, Jonah Bride, Soderstrom, Vaughn. That's a tier. All of them are just a tier.
One line. Yeah, pile
one
them all
line.
down.
Because that's what it is. That's what it is. Any one of them could break out and become great, but you have no idea. Because all they've done is had, like, either brief stretches of greatness, were great 2 years ago, or they're just a high draft pick. So we expect them to be great. But you can't really say anything else about them. And if we keep dwelling, our brains are going to combust.
I like Nolan Shanuel.
You're on your own, kid.
He's going to be turns 23 on Valentine's Day.
Can we make this tier? Let someone be mad about this. Just let someone be mad about it. That's it.
I mean, almost every fan base should be.
Let someone be mad at this. You're mad about this.
I'm mad.
Yeah, you're mad about this.
Andrew Vaughn.
You got to let Andrew Vaughn go. You're hurting me.
I'm going to bring up Rhys Hoskins.
Oh, Togley is on there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, how about this?
Okay.
Rhys Hoskins and Jake Berger currently deserve each other.
Okay. Drinking buddies. Not the name of a tier. They just look like they would be drinking buddies. They both work at a construction site.
Rhys, one of the nicer guys in baseball. Jake Berger has to be. Name's Jake Berger. Who else belongs with them?
Part of me has all of these guys together, and it's like you can reason there's a chance at 30 homers.
Are we being too harsh on Rhys for 1 year on a bad leg?
I'm worried about the leg going forward. Decently worried about that.
The numbers didn't land in an awful spot.
No. He kind of had like...
It's a down year after a leg injury.
After missing a year in leg.
He had Goldie's year offensively, but he didn't have anywhere close to that defensively, which is why I'm hard on him. The numbers
Never been a glove.
The numbers are pretty similar.
Like, Okay, I'm not even going to say that sentence because that would just blow up the whole thing.
What's that? No, you got to say it. Come on.
Could Reese have a better year than Wilson Contreras?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I don't
right?
think so.
It's baseball. Anything can happen. Okay. Jose Miranda's on the bottom.
Yes.
I can't look at him anymore.
Yes.
Had the most hits ever consecutively.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Your cousin made Hamilton.
great. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
That gets
cool.
overlooked pretty quick.
It's cool.
You think my job's cool. Cousin. Hammy. Zach saw it this weekend. Everyone tweeted Zach.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's not on the board currently? Spencer Steer has to go with the pile at the bottom.
The 4 names I'm looking at, well, Spencer Steers out, then the 3 names I'm looking at are Jake Berger, Reese Hoskins, and both Orioles, but as one man.
And I have those 3 and Steer as a tier above the young guys.
You're putting Steer above.
Yes.
You have some Spencer Steer stock I didn't know about.
I kind of like that.
I think Steer's going to get better now that he has one position. If you look at his baseball reference, each of the last 2 years, he's played 6 different positions.
Open to that.
I'll say he was good. Back-to-back 20 homer seasons, 117 OPS.
I think
plus.
Spencer Steer's good.
I think he's a good player. I think he deserves to be above the bottom tier, for sure. Who would you rather have next year, Spencer Steer or Paul Goldschmidt?
I don't know. Maybe that's the point. I don't think Paul... I don't know.
I feel like I've made you lose love for Paul Goldschmidt.
Yes.
Through this tier list.
This kind of isn't what I expected. No, I mean, there's something to being a certain level of reliable. I think Paul and Carlos
They are.
should bring for one more summer, / one of them probably won't.
We know they can pick it.
Yes.
Steer is a guy who hasn't been good at any position.
I kind of want to rename that one more summer ?
I'm okay with that.
Because I think that's what they're looking for.
One more summer?
Just one more summer.
One more summer for old time's sake.
So, Beebs, you've cleared the board on that page?
Every
stopped
first
keeping
baseman
up.
I had available to us is on the board.
I have them. Yeah, but now we can do some.
So now we have to finagle.
That was my rationale for the bottom tier. Let's just get them on there and then we'll figure it out. Okay?
Top tier is what it is.
It's locked.
They're very good baseball players. Okay. Pete and Christian Walker, do they deserve their own tier over Wilson Contreras, Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Naylor, Luke Raley? What?
What did we just do?
Go look at the numbers. You hate that he's
Luke
up there.
Raley can't land
He
there. I'm
absolutely
sorry.
belongs up there.
I cannot say that. I can't say that with a clean conscience. I cannot.
Where do you want to put him?
I'd put him a tier down.
Make my brain hurt?
I mean, okay, Jolly, you want to play games?
You sound mad.
I've got a game.
Mariners make you mad. I understand this.
Hey, you play a lot of out-of-the-park baseball. You're putting together a team.
I do.
Hey, Jolly, you could have, and money doesn't matter. Let's say your owner, Steve Cohen. Would you rather have Luis Ariz or Luke Raley
For first base.
to be your first baseman in 2025?
I'm picking Luke Raley, dude.
I don't know.
Luis Ariz cannot play the position.
Yandy Diaz or Luke Raley?
Yandy's a little more interesting because I think Yandy's a little better defensively. He's got a little more pop.
What do you have Luke Raley being prime John Olerud at first base?
No. But I'm saying this is a guy that played corner outfield well.
Right.
So I have to imagine he plays first base well.
I mean, he shouldn't even be in this conversation.
Yes. I thought he was going to be in the
This
left
is why-
field tier
this is
list.
why you should be mad at the Mariners. Graded out poorly at first base last year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get over Luke Raley.
Okay, Jake, it's your show.
I'm getting over
It's
Luke
your show,
Raley.
Jake. Let's move him down. You want to move him down?
He's moved down for now.
1B batting 1. That's where I put him.
Should Pete and Christian Walker be on their own tier below
I think
the
so.
tops?
I think so. Because they just got paid like it. I don't see any of the... Well, we know for a fact Contreras didn't get paid like them. He got paid less. I don't think Naylor's going to get paid like that. And I don't think Nathaniel Lowe's going to get paid like that.
Pete and Christian Walker can be game changers for your season. If Christian Walker plays the whole year, offense and defense, you're looking at 30 homers, 5 WAR. Pete Alonso, if he has a Pete season, he can put up a 45-homer season. You feel that.
Yep.
I think that separates them from everyone else currently, so I'm okay with that.
I think, and then like you can even just play the resume game too. Like how many great years do Pete and Walker have compared to the guys below them? I'd say more. Contreras gets unfortunately snake bitten because he's never played the position. If he had 2 years of first base, even 1 year of first base, he'd go in my second tier, but he's never played the position.
Yeah, and I guess it'll be interesting. Bryce Harper has changed the tone.
Yeah,
first base a little
Anything's
bit.
possible. I just got to see it first.
First base became first base isn't easy to play, and Harper's kind of been like, I figured it out. Let's see what Willie does. So Wilson Contreras, Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Naylor. I feel okay with that.
I think I feel okay with that too.
Casas is a tough one for me. I think he's really good.
You want him up?
He's never played. What's his most games played in a season?
130. It's the same as Vinny.
Yeah? When was that?
Last year.
2.2 WAR. Spot. I don't know how his defense is going to rank out.
I know his foot speed is slow, and they
slowest in
couldn't
baseball
trade
at age
him.
25.
I don't really know. They
were begging the Mariners to take him. It feels like.
Well, they've got Luke Raley.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew the next words were coming.
And Mariners outfield is stacked.
I
don't know what he is
ton of
yet.
respect for Luke Raley while being offended by him.
I have him below this tier now.
Who?
Luke Raley.
I think so.
Yeah.
I like what Contreras can be at first base. I know what I'm getting from Nathaniel Lowe. I kind of know what I'm getting from Naylor. Does he need to go down for you?
No.
Are we overvaluing him?
I don't think we are at all.
Luke Raley doesn't hit lefties at all.
Good.
Exposed.
Okay, how much of a gap should there be between Josh Naylor and Jake Berger?
Oh, right now there's a massive gap between.
Currently on our tier list, there's a massive gap.
Jake Berger was real good. I drove by his childhood home.
Listen, man. I just make video essays, okay? Stop asking me the hard-hitting questions.
Naylor has a leg up on Berger.
Jake Berger's last year was not that good. He was a league average bat and worth less than replacement level at first base, and he played 137 games. I don't feel that bad about him being that low, but I do appreciate your question about Naylor.
I try to talk things through.
901 second half.
That's
OPS.
what helps me.
It's a name value thing, man. It exists.
Casas, Pasquatch, Bush, and Luke Raley. All lefties.
All young?
All with a chance to be really good.
Raley's going to be 30. I think Raley goes down. Those three are such a tier. Raley just doesn't. He doesn't fit. He's a little bit older. He's not a first baseman. He's a corner outfielder.
I mean, I can't tell you he's going to be better than Lamont Wade next.
And he's a platoon player.
And maybe he should bat leadoff for
That's
the Mariners.
That's the thing for me. Raley's a platoon player. The other three aren't. They're going to play every day. They're everyday first baseman.
But Luke Raley with those, he's batted leadoff.
He has. I think that's okay. And you hate the Mariners.
Mariners. I like that we kind of have a letter E going here.
Nice. Oh, yeah, kind of.
It's nice.
It's a long last leg.
Okay. Wilson, Nathaniel, Naylor, Casas, Vinny, and Bush.
That feels much better.
I can come up with something fun there. Arise, Diaz, Wade, and now Luke Raley is with them.
You want to move him down again?
No.
Who?
Name value is something. I'm okay with that tier.
It hurts to have name value is, I think, the most egregious here because you think of batting titles and you think of Arias has been like the gun for hire batting title guy, but the book is out on him being a one-tool player.
Just that.
He's a one-tool player. That one tool is elite, probably better than
Right.
anybody else in baseball, but he's a one-tool player.
It's true.
It might be better than anyone else's tool.
Right.
It's a nice tool.
Easy with that.
Lamont Wade gets on base. Luke Raley, what can he do?
What can't he do?
The Olds, searching for one more summer. Goldie and Santana. Yeah, I mean, this part starts to get a little tricky because, like, I'm looking at the tier below that, Burger. It kind of depends your team's construction. If my offense needed 30 homers, I'd rather have Jake Burger than Goldie at this point. If I needed a two-way 7-hole hitter, I'd much rather have Paul Goldschmidt.
Right.
Santana has some similar arguments. He crushed lefties last year. He played Gold Glove defense. But yeah, I think I'm okay with the Olds tier. I'll tell you what, if I did this before free agency, I'd much rather have Nathaniel Lowe for a lefty reliever.
Yeah, dude. Nationals made off like bandits in that. I feel like people don't realize that.
They just kind of forgot to do anything else this winter.
Yeah,
But,
they had a very disappointing.
They played a little scared this one.
but that move was
That could
good.
be the right move. Okay, so that's Burger, Hoskins, the Orioles hybrid human, which is a great player, but is two people. If we're going to knock Luke Raley's platoon splits, Spencer Steer, you love.
I like him. Solid player. I always like the Reds, and they always let me down.
I'll tell you what, that bottom row, Miranda, Keith, Shanuel, Soderstrom, I've become a Jonah Bride guy.
The numbers are crazy.
The numbers
dude.
are kind of
Stop.
nice. Andrew Vaughn, you know how much of that stock I've had. Toglia barely got mentioned, and he hit 25 last year with a 2.2 WAR.
I met him. He's a massive human being.
Is he a bottom
Listed
row
6'5".
guy?
We might have to split up the bottom row. That's the next conversation.
That's the problem, Pop. I don't know how you do it. I don't know the difference between...
I am perfectly comfortable leaving everyone there.
I think, unfortunately, that's the answer. I would just... If I was a Rockies fan... Okay.
Which
never
you
mind.
are.
Never mind.
Which you are, mind you.
Toglia has some stuff he needs to work on.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
So does everyone in
It's
that
like
tier.
big strikeouts, right?
There are some strikeouts.
Oh,
The
yeah. but
batting
he's
average
well
is
over
low.
30% Ks.
He's hitting homers, which, hey, we like those, but negative WAR
Switch
coming
hitter,
into
that's
last
cool.
season. Okay. Earn your way. Earn your way. What would you change at this point? I rambled up and down the list. Is there anything you would change?
Yeah, you're having a tough time.
I am. I'll something I'm happy I've landed on, because at first I was looking at this first base list. I was like, what the fuck? And I still obviously am to a degree. The depth at the position is a little impressive.
Yeah.
Jose Miranda can be good. Colt Keith can be good. Shanuel can be really good. Soderstrom, I've gone through all these names. Horwitz had some nice numbers and is getting penciled in to be like. I like that there's not a couple of these positions. You look at like shortstop. I feel like Arcia and a couple of those names. It's like
There's been like it sucks we have to even talk about
there's no
this.
upside. This is what you're gonna get, and that's okay. These guys have serious upside.
I don't think there's a bad player here. Is that crazy to say?
There's not a player on here that if they were on your team, you couldn't talk yourself into.
Yeah, I mean it'll turn. All these players have hope, which that's kind of cool. I mean Jake Burger could, in that lineup, if things click, like
You hit 100 RBIs.
Reese has a okay.
Jake Burger just feels.
Let's
dirty
rename these. S tier. You want the 9 figures?
I have it as 9-figure mil.
Yeah.
That was just an easy separator for me.
Like chasing each other's wallets. You get paid, I get paid, I get paid. I'm about to get paid.
I got new home, old home for my second tier, but we can think of something better.
I was thinking like new money because they both just signed a deal.
Yeah, there's a. Something about doing free agency right and doing free agency wrong.
Come on.
Good cop, bad cop.
Good owner, bad owner.
Mets.
No, don't do that.
Mets first baseman. I want to circle back. Right? Jolly likes the new home. What is it?
There's something better there.
There's something better. I'll come back to it. My brain hurts, and please make my brain hurt. Well, let's Casas, Vinny, Tristan, Vinny, and Michael, Bush, Pasquantino, and Casas. Lefty futures. Give me 162, something like that.
I think it's give me 162.
Give me 162.
Because that was kind of the uniting
Yes.
thing with all of them.
Yeah, I like that. 1B batting 1, that's something. One more summer, I like that.
I love one more summer. This one, the second to last, I'm having trouble with. I'd love 30 homers.
A lot of good first basemen.
That's also good.
Yeah, something with 30 homers. It's like,
Have they all done it? I mean, I'm sure the Orioles
Steer has
combined
not.
have done it, but Steer hasn't. Steer's been 20 back-to-back
what
years.
if that's need pop to pop? Like, none of those guys are playing defense.
Right. Need pop to pop.
Like
Hoskins needs pop, too.
25 homers out of those guys is almost disappointing, except
Yeah.
Steer.
Steer's kind of the oddball.
But I like need pop to pop.
Yeah. I mean, Steer, if he did a 30 homer season, we'd be like Spencer Steer.
He might fly up
He'd
the
pop.
list if he can pick it. Need pop to pop. That's just a fun sentence to say.
Pat.
You're mad about this. I want to change that. We've got a lot of youth and potential
Something with like first base is stacked? Like, I don't know.
potential in both directions.
Like,
If I'm an Angels fan, I'm not happy.
if I'm a fan of any
One
of
of
these
the,
teams,
it's
I'm
one of the
unhappy.
spots they're happy with.
Bottom tier, but not in a bad way.
No offense.
No, that would read no offense.
No offense.
Yeah.
Your bad team should like this guy.
Oh,
The only, I mean, Twins are the only ones that can get loud there, I think.
Tigers.
Your Met team should like this guy.
Sure.
Who likes this guy?
Mid-team, high upside.
Which that leaves that Alonzo Walker tier. Is Walker Boris? No, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Martini Sports Management.
That's fake.
Okay.
Martini.
I think it's just like
Something about like a favorite son.
yeah, I just went to like the graduating class. Like they just hit free agency together and they got compared. Like
Long lost brothers.
brothers, yeah. Misplaced brothers.
Two halves of an elite first baseman.
Yeah. The glove and the stick.
Yeah.
The glove and the stick.
The glove and the
People will
stick.
figure that out. All right.
Jeez.
Let us know what was horrible. I think if you're a baseball fan, you just went for the ride with us, and I think you understand why.
I think this is a good list.
I think this is a good list. I can see if I was a fan of the bottom row, I would be a little hot to trot.
The bottom two rows, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly. the
You're
bottom
not going to
two.
be happy
Yeah,
seeing your
again,
guy
the
there.
The depth of this position ended up actually making me feel better because I got
Staggering.
scared when we were doing
Yeah.
we were doing the second tier of first baseman, and I'm thinking about Wilson Contreras. I don't know, and hopefully that comes true for Cardinals fans and baseball. Let us know where you think we went absolutely wrong. Let us know where we went right. Thank you to Jolly Olive. Thank you to BBD. And thank you to Uncle Dan.
Talkin Jake is a production of Dan Patrick Productions, John Boy Media, and Workhouse Media.